You are now listening to the Pelicans post-game report. Flash report.
For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned into the Pelican post-game report recap show, chiming in with the Pel Nation. Big ups to the family. We couldn't bring this original broadcast to you at the time. We had technical issues. But we're here to recap the Pelicans' big win, 124-106 over the lowly Washington Wizards. Man, I got to give it to the Pelicans on this one. They dominated from start to finish. They won all but 3 quarters, and even in the dreadful third quarter, I got to give it to the Pelicans in this one. Beating Washington big, 124-106, winning every quarter, and even putting up 30 points in that dreadful third of effort by the Pelicans in the matchup. They did an absolutely terrific job in this game. Coming back, and let's look at some individual statistics. A double 32 by both the stars. Zion Williamson, who came out and balled, he had 32 points in 33 minutes. It's good to see him getting the bulk of the minutes. You can see him really developing that quick twitch step. He's cat quick for a big guy, very ferocious, just a bowling ball in the paint, knocking guys around that's twice his size, careening around guys for explosive dunks. The second leap is ridiculous. 32 points for Zion in 33 minutes, 12 of 16. He was 8 of 11 from the free throw line. He was terrific, absolutely terrific. B.I. was shining in this one too. 32 points for B.I. He had 8 assists and 6 rebounds in 36 minutes of action. 12 of 19 and a career high 7 of 12 from downtown. Let me tell you, B.I. was hitting some excellent shots. Big money maker 3-pointers in the face of 7-foot centers. When the Pelicans needed a shot to kind of stop Washington from advancing, B.I. was there to represent. I mean, fantastic performance by both the stars. And of course, the Pelicans were able to get help as well from Eric Bledsoe, 36 minutes, 18 points in the matchup, had 7 rebounds or 4 assists, and to help out. Even Zoe Ball got going. He was 3 of 7 from downtown. He finished with 9 points in 16 minutes of action before he ultimately picked up that injury. Steven Adams was absolutely tremendous in this matchup. Even though he only put up 6 points, but he snatched 18 rebounds down throughout, 3 assists, even had a block in 33 minutes of action. He was terrific in the paint. And Jackson Hayes off the bench, 18 points in 15 minutes. He was 4-4 from the field. He had several really explosive dunks to help spur the moment. JJ Redick in 13 minutes. He had 5 points. He was 2 of 5 from the field. Even hit a 3-pointer in a matchup. Josh Hart was in 29 minutes, struggled with just 6 points, but did gather 8 rebounds in the matchup. And NAW in 30 minutes of action, 8 points. He was 3 of 11 from the field, 2 of 6 from downtown. He finished with 8 points, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds in the matchup for the Pelicans. So a big win for the Pelicans. And I got to give a shout out, man, to Bradley Beal, who is terrific. If the Wizards are willing to part with Bradley Beal, I mean, even though he was really the only guy scoring for him, he was their number one option. Well, with Russell Westbrook being out with the rest indication, Beal lit up the Pelicans for 47 points. Even like Stan Van was saying, they were doubling him. He was still scoring. He was absolutely red hot, 17 of 37. In 40 minutes, he hit 6 of 14 from downtown. He was perfect at the stripe, 47 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds. If they're looking to get rid of that guy, I mean, boy, the Pelicans would be crazy not to ask what you want for Bradley Beal. Seriously, because he's definitely a 3-point shooter. He knocks down him at a high clip. He finished with 6 3-pointers. He was 6 of 14 in the matchup against the Pelicans. And this would have been an absolute blowout if it wasn't for Bradley Beal. It was a blowout, but could you imagine what it would have been without his 47 points in the matchup? If the Wizards are looking to move Bradley Beal, let me tell you something. This guy's phenomenal. He's averaging over 35 points a game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He's leading the NBA in scoring. He's averaging 35.4 points per contest. It's just amazing, man. It's just ridiculous what Bradley Beal is doing this year. They're saying that Beal is on the trade block. If Beal is on the trade block, if you're the Pelicans, you got to think about, at least ask them what the hell they want for this guy. 35 points per contest, first in the NBA, averaging 36 minutes per game. And he's shooting on the season 36.6, almost 37% on the year. I mean, that is absolutely mind-boggling. And Bill's career three-point shooting percentage is 38% per. That's ridiculous. His best year was when he shot a ridiculous 40.4% or 40.9% back in the 2014-2015 campaign for the Wizards, in which he only played 63 games. But listen, that's the thing with Bill, that he does have issues injury-wise, but he's played in 558 contests, and he's started in 524 of those matchups. So he's shooting 37% right now for this year. So if Bill is out there, I mean, the Pelicans most certainly got to ask, okay, if he's on the trade block, what do you want for a guy like Bill? He lit the Pelicans up, and most certainly, if I was watching it and the rest of the flock was watching it, I know Griffin was watching it saying, this guy is amazing. So I don't know if you can make that fit. I know Bradley Beal has a multitude of different abilities. He can hit the three, like I just showed you his percentage. He's number one in scoring in the NBA right now. So, of course, it'll take some first round draft picks and maybe a collection of players to make the deal work. But my goodness, man, could you imagine getting a guy like Bradley Beal and piecing him with guys like Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram? Now, next up on the docket for the Pelicans, coming up on Friday night at 6:30 Central Time, is a matchup against a very good Milwaukee Bucks team who are second in the Eastern Conference. The Pelicans coming off an explosive win over a lowly Washington Wizards club. We got them here. Can the Pelicans build on that big win over Washington? Do they have the confidence to take on a very good team like the Milwaukee Bucks? Giannis is averaging almost 27 points per contest with 11 rebounds. Chris Middleton shoots a high clip. It'll be most interesting to see what goes on in this matchup. This is a very tough game with the Pelicans. We know that Lonzo had that injury. They listed him as day-to-day. The Bucks will have all their people, but it's the return of Drew Holiday. Drew returns back to the Big Easy in a regular season capacity to take on his former club there. And of course, the Bucks, after losing 2 straight to the Lakers and the Brooklyn Nets, were able to make wins against Atlanta and Toronto, as well as the Pelicans were able to break a 3-game slide on the road to open up the homestand with a big win over Washington. So a very compelling matchup that's going to be on ESPN. It's Giannis versus Zion and BI in the Big Easy. It's a supreme blockbuster game, a really good game to see what goes on between the Pelicans and the Bucks, and I'll be watching it as well. We'll have the recap after this matchup. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining us for the Pelican Post Game Report recap show. I appreciate you. Please hit upon the subscribe button if you aren't a subscriber. Please hit the like button as well. Please hit the notification bell to be updated for reports and also recaps and everything like that for all things New Orleans Pelicans. So join the flock by hitting the subscribe button, and I'm gonna see you guys later. I'm Big Q chiming out. Peace and go Pels.
Subscribe now and stay up to date for all things New Orleans Pelicans.